put up the picture of this cop who's now under investigation by the federal government because they say he's dirty as hell and has been framing people for years. Retired Kansas detective accused of preying on vulnerable black women for decades, framing a man for slaying, is finally being investigated by the feds. Federal prosecutors are investigating a retired detective following a lot of allegations. His name is Roger Golubsky. I want you to remember that name. Allegations have circled a Kansas City neighborhood where Detective Golubsky worked for 35 years. But they only recently came to the forefront following the exoneration of one wrongfully accused black man, Lamont McIntyre. McIntyre's mother, Rose, alleged Detective Golubsky sexually assaulted her in the late 1980s and then framed her son for the murders when she rejected his advances. After being incarcerated for 23 years, Mr. McIntyre was freed in 2017. Here's a picture of the young man. This brother had 23 years of his life taken away from him because of a dirty ass cop. Many witnesses in the civil case described Detective Golubsky as a corrupted cop. One witness alleged the retired detective had an affinity for black prostitutes and used his badge for sex and information. One of the officers testified about walking in on Golubsky having sex with a woman at the police station. The lawsuit also accused Golubsky of taking drugs and money from a local drug kingpin for his silence to then use them to exploit prostitutes. Since Lamont McIntyre's release, the Kansas Star's editorial board has lobbied for action against this corrupt former detective. One columnist wrote, he was the common denominator in the unsolved murders of 6 black women. The newspaper has chronicled decades of rape allegations against Golubsky. Now, this man was able to provide this level of chaos and crime for 35 years. What do you think protected him? You think it's just his badge? Imagine a black cop being able to do this for 35 years in a white neighborhood. You think that would have worked? So it's not just his badge. It's not just the system. It's all of that working with the complexion of protection, his white privilege. Michael, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I would push back on it because it's so exceptionally atrocious and horrible what he's doing that I don't even think it's a question of would a white cop have would a black cop have gotten away with this in a white neighborhood? No, but nobody should get away with what the disgusting things that this guy got away with. And it is good that they're going back and looking at this. I was initially going to say when I was first started reading it earlier was that he should get at least 23 years. Now he should be gone for the rest of his life. I mean, what he had done, exploiting these people, ruining a man's life, taking 23 years away from him, and then being complicit in the murders, perhaps, of 6 prostitutes, 6 African-American women. It's mind-boggling. This is one of the worst crimes and the violation of trust. It's hideous.
This guy may be a serial rapist and serial murderer all wrapped up into one. We will follow this story.